Thank you so much for taking the time to participate in this workshop and for taking active steps to make the SCU community a more inclusive place for all students. In this portion of the workshop, you will have the opportunity to watch 4 videos we have selected that help to give insight into the LGBT experience and provide you with the knowledge and skills to be the best ally to the LGBT community that you can be. Our hope is that you approach these videos with an open mind and take the time to apply the concepts, ideas, and emotions featured in these videos to your own life experiences. There will be time between each video for some brief reflection, so please prepare a sheet of reflection paper at this time.
I think actually boxing was kind of my gateway to my queerness.
In high school, it was dating guys, going to prom with my boyfriend, but I was definitely, I would say, in the closet in college.
Like when I did start dating and talking to guys, then I had to hide.
A lot of closet gay men and women can tell you this, that they're not totally in touch with all their emotions when they're afraid to really touch base with those feelings.
I had to be really close with someone for me to talk about who I am and my background.
I was having a lot of gender dysphoria. I felt that I needed to identify as a woman, basically, in order to be able to compete in my sport.
I've heard homophobic things my whole life in locker rooms.
I remember being on a long training run and my coach telling a couple of gay jokes.
I would walk by my coach's office. Okay, this is the day that I'm gonna go in there and try to just tell her what was on my mind.
It's hard to have a relationship that you feel comfortable with when you obviously are hiding something.
I came out after showing who I was as an athlete. My teammates were welcoming and they were essentially my second family.
I did confide in some of my best friends on the team and they told me, oh, we already knew.
Things I've heard from guys that were just the most ridiculous, insane, ignorant things were the same guys that showed me so much love and compassion and were really pushing me to stay in the sport.
All these years, I had separated these two things, my sexual orientation and sports, in my head.
The team I train with now in Dorothy is super supportive. I never have to explain anything about my transition to them.
Now I'm in the locker room, I don't hear any of that stuff, and we discuss what's going on with marriage equality and obviously what's been passed.
We just talk about it casually. Oh, what are you doing tonight? Or are you dating anyone and all that?
I'm not a gay athlete, I'm an athlete, and no one's treating me any differently.
We want the same fair shot.
Definitely get involved with sports. From my experience, people are very accepting.
I don't know if I would have come to the same awareness or same comfort in my own body if I hadn't been through sports.
If you're struggling with your sexual orientation in sports, there are so many people to talk to.
I say talk to adults, talk to your coach, give the adults the chance to do the right thing.
Observe your surrounding and see if that community is the right community for you to come out in.
I'm never to tell a person that they should come out or not come out, but definitely find someone you can speak to.
There's never a right time to come out. People say, oh, I should have came out in college.
You don't have to publicly come out to be whole in your life, but as you start to tell people, it builds confidence.
If there is a sense of fear, then that implies that there is something wrong.
I'm the only out soccer player, I think, in the world, so it's kind of weird.
And I think when we remove it as being something that's considered brave, then we remove the danger from it.
And I think the fact that some people are still very fearful of coming out and might not be in a great environment, that implies that there's still a long way.
I don't like my voice. Now, that is an ironic statement coming from someone doing a TED Talk, but there are several reasons why I don't like my voice. Because one, I keep getting mistaken as a freshman, which, no offense to freshmen, is something you don't want to hear as a second semester senior. Two, because as a trans guy, it's just something that I own that doesn't correspond to who I am. And 3, okay, not to get extremely nerdy up in here, but try playing Dungeons and Dragons as an orc barbarian sounding like a 12-year-old. Trust me, no one's gonna be afraid of you when you're yelling, "Ragnar the Beheader destroys all!" I mean, come on. What is Ragnar the Beheader going to do? Hug your head off? But jokes aside, a voice is a powerful tool. It's this vehicle from which we can be heard from by audiences like you, online and offline, especially at an event like this. But while you may hear the stories you've heard today, have you really listened? Now, obviously, I was not accepted to talk here today about my experiences with D&D, though I totally could, if I wanted to. But I'm actually here to talk about something that makes up who I am as much as playing D&D, being trans. Now, I've been out as a trans guy ever since my freshman year of high school, but it's something that a lot of my classmates are surprisingly unaware of. I usually, at the beginning of every year, would let my teachers know about my pronouns, ask my gym teachers to let me use separate locker rooms, and then quietly hope that when someone refers to me as he, that other people catch on. Now, despite the fact that I go through this routine every single year, I still found myself wondering why I was still hesitant. If I was out, then why don't I correct people when they misgender me? If I was out, then why did I always hesitate calling myself a guy? Then I would hear a few of those classic throwaway phrases you always seem to hear in any high school classroom. Did you assume my gender? I identify as an attack helicopter, and so on and so forth. Now, as much as those statements don't even represent the trans community, I finally realized why I always had one foot out of the closet. I didn't want people to be aware of the fact that I was trans. Now, that might sound weird to you because the whole point of being out is letting people know you aren't straight and/or cisgender, right? But the thing is, I do want people to know that I'm trans. It's a part of who I am, and it's something that I'm proud of. But what I don't want people to do is to suddenly forget all the other unique parts of me and just see me as that trans classmate. At times, awareness hurts. It's the act of simply knowing that someone or something exists and nothing more. It's like seeing that someone's on stage right now speaking, but you only hear their words rather than listen to what they're saying. Now, awareness as an act of social justice is an awesome tool for starting a conversation, but as a way we consider other people, it's just looking at the surface and barely going beyond that. And I'm not saying that every straight and or cisgender person does that, but if you want to be an ally, then you have to acknowledge that as much as someone's gender identity or sexual orientation makes up a part of who they are, it's not all there is to them. And awareness isn't such a bad thing either, just like hearing what someone else has to say. But you can't really connect with the speaker until you listen to them, until you respect them. So, how do we do that? Is there some secret 5-step guide to respect? A hidden tip to becoming the most woke person alive? Well, no. Respect doesn't need a 5-step guide, or even a common ground between you and the other person, but rather 2 words: active listening. Just like active reading, active listening requires you to listen with a determination to understand, both empathetically and factually. It's a type of listening where you set aside your preconceived notions for at least a moment until you hear the end of someone's story. After all, you don't approach Catcher in the Rye and already groan about how annoying Holden is. You read it, make active attempts to understand the book's themes, and then hate Holden afterwards. And sure, it's a skill, and like many skills, it takes practice. But it's one that's worth developing to really connect with all the diverse individuals you will meet in real life. And anyone can learn how to respect. Anyone can learn how to listen. Heck, you're probably doing it right now. And anyone can be an ally. And it takes even the smallest of gestures to show that fact. Like this iguana snow globe. So just around my junior year, I was starting out on the school speech team and also went over changing my first name over the summer to, well, my real name. And heck, I think it was at my first speech tournament where I wore my first suit. So obviously a lot of big changes, big events. So my friend and I were at this booth event advertising our speech team to the freshmen and all, and she sort of slid me this little box, and in it contained a iguana snow globe from Curacao. Well, except Curacao didn't have the accent on it, and so it just said Curacao, but, you know, not to be picky. So I can remember how she gave this to me, how she smiled, and how she said that when she saw it, she just had to buy it. Because out of all the things she knew about me, she knew how much I loved iguanas. And that made me feel so respected. Because while she knew that I was trans and knew that and respected me, obviously, she also saw beyond that. She saw the parts that liked lizards and playing D&D and, well, public speaking. So it goes to show that it doesn't take a lot to be an ally. All it takes is acknowledging any LGBTQ person as LGBTQ and, well, a person with their own personality and their own interests. If there's anything I want you all to take away from this, it's that both awareness and respect are important ingredients for being an ally. Because at the end of the day, while I am here and while I am queer, don't forget that there's still so much more you could know about me too. Thank you.
You want to be a good ally? Show up for your trans friends. You don't need to change the world. Show up on a local, palpable level for the people in your life who matter to you.
A good ally is someone who knows how to speak, how to be heard, but also how to listen.
A good ally knows when to shut up and takes a step back and uplifts the people that need their voices to be heard.
I think one of my biggest frustrations with allies actually comes from the people who purport to be very liberal and very informed. I've experienced a lot of people who think that they know exactly what they're talking about and are very resistant to hearing anything to the contrary. They're not interested at all in when you say, hey, what you just said really hurt me, and so if you could use this instead, and they're like, well, no, I say this, and that's how I've always said it, and it's fine. I had one gay person tell me it was fine.
You need to know as an ally not to speak over people, not to speak for people, and not to tell other people's stories that are not your own, but be able to stand in for someone when they need you to, when they ask you to, and say and use the information that you know to combat hate and bigotry.
A good ally is someone who is willing to make sacrifices in order for all of us to have a better life.
With all of that said, I think something that we both want to share and have wanted to share for a really long time is the fact that I'm gay.
And I'm gay too.
Moving forward from that, before this video is put out there, there's one more person that we have to tell. One more person that we need to come out to.
Yeah, we've come out to our entire family except for our dad.
So we decided that in this video we're gonna call him, and
since he's back in Ohio, we can't really meet him face to face.
We're gonna let him know that we're gay. Oh my god. And pass out.
I know, I really feel sick.
Alright, we just have to do it.
Okay, just call, hit the button. Just hit the button. Hit the button, no, for real, hit the button. You call, put on speaker.
Oh my god. Hey. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm painting.
You're painting?
You're painting.
What are you guys painting?
What I've been doing for the last, month.
Man.
What's going on?
Not much. Well, basically we wanted to call you because, there's gonna be
Are you still there?
Yeah. I can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry.
Alright. There's... Hold on. Alright. Hold on one second. I know. Basically there's gonna be some stuff coming out on YouTube soon, and we just wanted to like call and talk to you about it before. Well, I mean, I don't really know how else to put it, but like, I'm gay, and Austin is too, and we just wanted to like call and tell you. Because I just didn't want you to find out through YouTube and stuff, and I just wanted to be able to have that conversation because I feel like we're close enough, and I finally feel like I'm at that point now to be able to tell you, and I just want to be able to have you like behind us 100%. Like, I just don't want you to like not love us anymore or anything like that.
Stop it. Would you just stop? The way things are, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you're grown people.
Yeah.
There's nothing that, I mean, you're up in a lot different generation than me,
Yeah.
you know? I just don't really know what to say. You know,
Right.
you know, I love you both. You know, that'll never change.
Yeah. Right.
You know, you gotta live your life, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Right.
Being on the job I've been on for many, many years is kind of they weren't accepting
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it just, like, it doesn't change who we are as a people either. Like, I'm the exact same person, you know? Like, I just don't want to be able to not feel like I can't call you and talk to you or anything like that. Like, I just don't want you to, you know what I mean? Like, I still want everything to kind of just be normal. It's just, like, something that's just...
You are normal. What do you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I just... Right. I just... Yeah, I don't want it to ever change our relationship. Like, I just want to be able to still have that relationship that we have.
I can't undo being your dad. I can't undo, you know,
Yeah.
how you do that. You know,
Yeah.
I've been, was abandoned by my father, you know?
Yeah.
For no reason other than I don't give a damn, so,
Yeah.
you know. Well, no, it's a lot, but, you know, it's just...
No, I understand.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And... You know, I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you you're not, or try to say why, or try to say change, or, you know.
Yeah. And I appreciate that.
It's what it is, you know. You're living your life. That's all you can do in life, is live it.
Yeah. Right.
So, you know.
Great.
All right.
Alright, I love you both. Get a hold of me when you come in tomorrow.
All right, I love you.
I love you both.
All right,
I love you too.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Alright, bye.
Bye. All right, bye.